Taylor Swift emotional meltdown after Travis Kelce's wedding surprise. It was supposed to be an ordinary, low-key evening by celebrity standards. No red carpets. No flashing cameras. No screaming fans gathered behind barricades. Just a private charity gala tucked away in a candlelit historic venue, attended by close friends, a handful of athletes, musicians, and insiders sworn to secrecy. But by the end of the night, nothing would be ordinary ever again. Because Taylor Swift would leave the room in tears, hands shaking, heart racing, overwhelmed by a moment no one saw coming. And the man responsible? Travis Kelce. The calm before the shock. Taylor arrived first, elegant and relaxed, dressed in a soft ivory gown that shimmered subtly under warm lights. She laughed easily that night. Friends later said she seemed lighter than usual, comfortable, happy, secure. Travis arrived separately. That detail alone would later haunt her. When Taylor noticed he wasn't at her side, she assumed it was logistics. Scheduling conflicts. Athlete commitments. Nothing more. She even joked about it with friends, teasing that he was probably plotting another harmless surprise. If only she knew. The sudden silence. Midway through dinner, the music softened. Conversations slowed. A single spotlight illuminated the center of the room. The host cleared their throat. And now, they said gently, we have a special moment this evening. Taylor smiled politely, expecting a speech, a donation announcement, maybe a performance. Instead, the doors behind her opened. And there he was. Travis Kelce didn't walk in wearing his usual tailored suit. He walked in wearing a wedding tuxedo. Perfectly fitted. Black velvet lapels. White boutonniere. Calm expression. Purposeful steps. Taylor froze. At first, she laughed, softly, nervously, thinking it was a joke. A skit. Some playful stunt he'd cooked up. But then she saw his eyes. Serious. Emotional. Locked onto hers. And that's when her smile vanished. This wasn't the plan. Travis stopped a few feet away from her table and spoke into the microphone. This isn't a prank, he said quietly. And it's not a proposal. A murmur rippled through the room. Taylor's hands trembled as she gripped the edge of the table. Her breathing became shallow. She shook her head slowly, whispering to herself, no, no. Travis continued. I've spent my life making decisions in front of crowds. Stadiums. Cameras. Noise. But the most important decision of my life, I wanted to make it like this. He paused, voice cracking. Private. Honest. Real. The wedding surprise revealed. Then came the bombshell. I've already spoken to both our families, Travis said. I've planned everything, with care, with patience, and with love. And tonight. I was supposed to surprise you with the date. Gasps filled the room. Taylor stood up so quickly her chair fell backward. Her eyes filled instantly. Not delicate tears, but heavy, uncontrollable ones. Travis, she whispered, her voice breaking. She wasn't ready. Not like this. Taylor's emotional meltdown. Friends said this wasn't anger. It wasn't fear. It was overwhelm. Years of pressure. Public scrutiny. Speculation. Headlines predicting her future before she could even process her present. And suddenly, here it was. Marriage. Finality. A future locked in with expectations the world would dissect endlessly. Taylor covered her face as sobs escaped her chest. I didn't know, she said through tears. I didn't know you were doing this now. Travis stepped forward immediately, panic flashing across his face. I thought it would make you happy. The room holds its breath. For a long moment, no one moved. Taylor walked away from the table, heels clicking sharply against the floor before she stopped, hands on her knees, crying openly. This was the meltdown no one expected. Not the dramatic kind for cameras, but the raw, human kind that happens when love collides with timing. A quiet confession. Travis followed her, abandoning the microphone, ignoring the stunned crowd. "I love you," he said softly. "I don't want to rush you. I swear. I just wanted you to know how serious I am." Taylor looked up at him, mascara smudged, eyes red, breath uneven. "I am serious," she said. "But I need to breathe. I need to feel like this is ours, not something the world is waiting to judge." Travis nodded immediately. "Then we slow down," he replied. "No announcements. No dates. No surprises. The aftermath." They left the gala early, hand in hand, but shaken. By morning, rumors exploded online. Wedding shock. Taylor Swift breaks down. Travis Kelce's surprise goes too far. But insiders painted a different picture. Not heartbreak. Not conflict. Just two people deeply in love, learning that even the biggest hearts need space to process life-changing moments. A love still standing. Days later, Taylor was reportedly calmer. Reflective. Still emotional, but grounded. Travis, meanwhile, cancelled all interviews and public appearances, choosing privacy over headlines. Because the truth was simple. The surprise didn't break them. It reminded them that love isn't about grand gestures alone, it's about timing, trust, and listening. And when the day finally comes, it won't be a surprise. It will be a choice, made together. Taylor Swift emotional meltdown after Travis Kelce's wedding surprise. No one saw it coming, not the fans crowding outside the private venue, not the closest friends sworn to secrecy, and certainly not Taylor herself. The night had started innocently enough. Taylor believed she was attending a low-key charity dinner, something intimate, something safe. She wore a soft ivory dress, understated by her standards, her hair loosely curled, her guard down. Travis had been unusually calm all day, too calm. He'd smiled more than usual, kissed her forehead one extra time, and told her, "Just trust me tonight." She did. What Taylor didn't know was that this wasn't just a dinner. It was a carefully orchestrated moment months in the making. As she stepped into the candlelit hall, the room fell silent. The music faded into a single piano melody, slow, trembling, familiar. It took her a few seconds to recognize it, a stripped-down instrumental version of one of her most emotional love songs. Her breath caught. She turned. And that's when everything unraveled. Instead of round tables and waitstaff, the room was transformed into something straight out of a dream. White roses lined a long aisle. Soft fairy lights shimmered overhead. Framed photographs, moments from her life, from their life, lined the walls, backstage laughter, quiet car rides, blurry selfies taken at midnight when no one was watching. Taylor's hands flew to her mouth. Her knees weakened. "Travis," she whispered, her voice barely audible. He stood at the far end of the aisle, dressed in a tailored black suit, eyes already glassy. But he wasn't alone. Behind him stood her parents. Her closest friends. A few people she hadn't seen in years, those who had shaped her journey, who knew her before the stadiums and screaming crowds. And then she noticed something that made her heart drop. An officiant. Her breathing became uneven. Her chest tightened. Her thoughts spiraled. Is this happening? Right now? Without me knowing? She took a step back, overwhelmed. Tears spilled freely down her cheeks as the weight of the moment crashed over her all at once. Travis walked toward her slowly, carefully, like someone approaching something fragile. "I know this is a lot," he said softly, voice cracking. "I know surprises aren't always easy for you. But listen to me, okay?" Taylor tried to speak, but she couldn't. She was shaking now, emotion pouring out of her in waves she couldn't control. Years of writing about love, longing, fear, and forever collided into a single moment she wasn't prepared for. He took her hands. "I'm not asking you to say yes tonight," Travis continued. "I'm not asking you to do anything you don't want to do. I just wanted you to see what forever could look like, if and when you're ready." That's when she broke. Taylor collapsed into his chest, sobbing uncontrollably, not out of fear, not out of panic, but out of something far deeper. Relief. Safety. Love so intense it hurt. "I've been afraid of this,"